Fifth grade, welcome to your new week. We're going to start off with Monday. Today we're going to be on page 60, and we're going to be doing the last little bit of multiplying before we have our test, which will be Thursday. So we're going to do zeros in the multiplier, so look at the top of page 60. Sullivan paints using pointillism, which is a technique that uses patterns of dots. The painting will have about 225 dots per square inch. If the painting is 208 square inches, how many dots are in the painting? So we multiply 225 times 208. Remember, if it says to estimate, skip that part. You do not need to estimate. I just want to know that you can multiply. So this is the same thing we did last week. The only difference is it has a 0 in the number at the bottom, which I think makes it easier. So it should be something that should be pretty easy for you. So start with 8. 8 times 5 is 40. Put a 0, carry the 4. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. So I'm going to put the 0, carry the 2. 8 times the next 2 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Okay, so I've done the 8 times everything at the top, so I'm going to put the placeholder 0. I've been noticing that some of you are not putting your placeholder 0. You have to do that for it to work, okay? So now we have the 0. So 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. So pretty easy. Now I want to go over to the 2, so I have to have 2 placeholder zeros. Then I can multiply my 2 times everything. 2 times 5 is 10. Put my 0, carry my 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus that 1 is 5, and 2 times 2 is 4. And then we add it up. That's the easy part, because a lot of the times it's just a lot of zeros. So 0, 0, 8, 5 plus 1 is 6. Drop down that 4. 46,800 dots would be your answer. Remember to put the word that you are dealing with when you're doing a word problem. So that's how we do these. It's very easy, I think, because you've done it already. The only difference is that 0, which makes it easier because anything times 0 is 0. So let's do another one. Let me clear this. I'm going to write Monday back. Let's do 219 times 300. Okay, start with a 0. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 1, 0. 0 times 2, 0. Placeholder 0. Now I'm on this 0 in the middle. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 2 placeholder zeros. 3 times 9 is 27. I'm going to put my 7, carry my 2. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. And 3 times 2 is 6. So here's the easy part. There's really no adding here. You're just dropping the numbers down. 65,700. So don't get confused with all the zeros where your placeholder zeros are. So sorry, that one was not a placeholder 0. See, even I can get confused. So we put 1 placeholder 0 here and 2 here. It does get a little confusing when you see all those zeros, but if you do it slowly, you'll get it right. So let's try some more. There's plenty of these to practice on. Let's do 391 times 600. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. Placeholder 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 9 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 2 placeholder zeros. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 9 is 54. Carry our 5. 6 times 3 is 24. Plus 5 is 29. Looks like I messed up there. Hold on. Ooh, back up. 64. 6 times 3 is 18. I'm sorry. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. There we go. That's correct. Sorry. Go over 3, put a comma. 234,600. So you see how easy it is to make a mistake. So make sure you're kind of double checking. I knew that 6 times 3 is 24 didn't sound right, so I went back and looked, and it was not. So we fixed it. Okay, let's do 508 times 790. Okay, 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. Placeholder 0. 9 times 8 is 72. Put your 2, carry your 7. 9 times 0 is 0, plus 7 is 7. 9 times 5 is 45. 2 placeholder zeros. I'm going to cross out the 7 I carried so I don't get confused. 7 times 8 is 56. Put 6, carry the 5. 7 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Then we add 7 plus 6 is 13, 11, 10. 401,320 is our answer, okay? So I'm going to let you go on and start your classwork. You're going to be doing page 60, numbers 6 through 10. This is not for a grade, this is for practice, so do it and I'll correct it. And then your homework is workbook page 47. Okay, so go ahead and get on that, and I will see you for Tuesday's video. All right, Tuesday video, we're gonna go on more of what you did yesterday, so let's practice some. I'm gonna pull some of the harder ones just because if I show you the hard one and you get it, I know that you'll be able to do the rest. So let's look at 487,203 times 203. Even though that top number is bigger, it doesn't matter. You would just multiply each number a little bit more. You're still going to have the 2 placeholder zeros. So let's do this one. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 2 is 26, carry the 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Okay, placeholder 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 7 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. And 0 times 4 is 0. Don't just go ahead and put a bunch of zeros. Make sure you take the time to do what I did and say each one. 0 times 3, 0 times 0. Okay, 2 placeholder zeros. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 7 is 14. So I'm going to put my 4, carry my 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Put my 7, carry my 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So you see all those numbers I have and why it's important that you put your zeros and why it's important that you line it up correctly so we don't get confused. So 9 plus 0 is 9. Then we have 0. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 6 plus 4 is 10. Put the 0, carry the 1. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. 7 plus 1 is 8. And drop down the 9. So 98,902,209 is our answer. If you could do one like that, you can do any of them. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do 21,075 times 150. Okay, 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 7 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Okay, done with all that. So let's put a placeholder 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Put my 5, carry my 2. 5 times 7 is 35. Plus 2 is 37. Put my 7, carry my 3. 5 times 0 is 0. Plus 3 is 3. 5 times 1 is 5. And 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, I'm done with the 5. So 2 placeholder zeros. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we can add them all up. So we get 0, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7, 10, 11, 6, 1, 3. Let me double check that that is correct. 3,161,250. So we are correct. Okay, let's do maybe 2 more. Then we're going to be done with this. Let's do 2,804 times 920. 0 times 4 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Placeholder 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16. Put my 6, carry my 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 placeholder zeros. 9 times 4 is 36. Put the 6, carry the 3. 9 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. 9 times 8 is 72. Put my 2, carry my 7. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 7, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Add it all up. 0, 8, 6, 9, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let me double check that that is correct. 2,579,680. Yes, so this is correct. So I'm going to let you go on to classwork. It won't be this hard. It'll actually be a little bit easier, but if you can do these, you can do any of them. So your classwork is going to be page 61, numbers 15 to 21, and your homework is workbook page 48. Okay, so this is your work for today. You can go ahead and get started. Tomorrow we'll be reviewing for the test you're going to have on Thursday, which is strictly multiplication. Okay, here's our Wednesday video. So today we're going to be on pages 62 and 63 doing some review. So page 62 to 63. I'm going to write the numbers out you're going to do, and then we're going to talk about them before you do them. We're going to do numbers 33 to 42. They are all multiplication. So all you're doing are these multiplication facts. So let's do a couple to practice, and then I'm going to let you do some. So let's start easy as a kind of review, and let's do 78 times 33. That's where we started at the beginning of the chapter. So 3 times 8 is 24. Put my 4, carry my 2. 3 times 7 is 21. Plus 2 is 23. Placeholder 0. 3 times 8 is 24. Put your 4, carry your 2. 3 times 7 is 21. Plus 2 is 23. Add it up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 2. 2,574. So these are the easy ones that we've already done, kind of just like a little warm up. So let's look at another one, maybe a little bit harder. Let's do 761 times 14. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Put the 4, carry the 2. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 2 is 30. Placeholder 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 7 is 7. We get 10,654. So those are the pretty easy ones. Those are the ones we led up with to getting 3-digit by 3-digit. So now let's do some of those. You guys seem to have a grasp on it. You just have to remember to put your placeholder 0. And remember again, if you see estimating, I don't want you to estimate, I just want you to multiply. Let's do 254 times 505. 5 times 4 is 20. Put the 0, carry the 2. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Placeholder 0, cross those out. 0 times 4 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 2 placeholder zeros. 5 times 4 is 20. Put the 0, carry the 2. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27. Put 7, carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So we get 0, 7, 2, 8, 1, 2. 128,270. Let me double check that that is right. Yes, 128,270. I'm going to do one more with you, and then I'll let you go on to your classwork today, which is the review. All right, next, let's do 842 times 257. 7 times 2 is 14. Put the 4, carry the 1. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 2 is 58. Placeholder 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Put the 0, carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Put the 1, carry the 2. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 is 42. 2 placeholder zeros. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. So we're going to just add 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 11, 2. 216,394. That one is correct. Okay, so go ahead and get started on 33 through 42. And remember to study tonight. There is no homework except to study for that test. All right, guys, today is your Thursday video. It is test day. Make sure you do these things. Line your numbers up correctly. Make sure when you're lining them up correctly that they are up and down perfectly. Graph paper is a way you can do that. If lining up is a problem of yours, you can use graph paper. You can actually turn your notebook paper sideways and use the lines going up and down to help you. That's another trick. Just be very neat with the way you work. Don't forget placeholder zeros. Don't forget those. Those will give you the wrong answer every single time. You will get the wrong answer every time. Don't just skip a space and think, oh, I'll remember it. You won't, I promise. And you're going to get the wrong answers. And lastly, take your time. This is not a time test. You have all the time in the world to finish it. So please do not rush through it. Go ahead and get started on it and let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, last day of the week, Friday. We're going to be starting chapter 4 today, so we're going to be on page 68 in your hardback book. 68. We're going to start this today, and then we're going to finish it next week. I don't want to just do it today and stop without giving it some more on Monday because this is important. So we're going to go ahead and get started today, and on Monday we will do some more of it. I hate getting things started on Friday, but it's just kind of the way it is this week. So look at page 68. A printing company uses reams of paper that have 500 sheets each. How many reams are needed for a print job requiring 6,000 pieces of paper? To solve, divide 6,000 by 500. So I'm going to write that down. 6,000 divided by 500. Patterns can help you divide by multiples of 10, 100, or 1,000. Study the division pattern shown. So this is very similar to the multiplication patterns we did, where we did multiplied the 2 non-zero digits and added the zeros at the end. Very similar, except this time we're dividing, so we're going backwards and we're making it smaller. So if you look at the ones they give you, 8 divided by 2 equals 4. That's a simple one. We all know that one. We can use this one to help us with bigger numbers that have those zeros in them. So for example, they give you 80 divided by 2. You do the same thing we did before. Take the 8 and the 2 non-zero digits. divide 8 by 2 and get 4. Take that 0, add it over. 80 divided by 2 is 40. Okay, then we have 800 divided by 2. Same thing. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And we have 2 zeros we're going to add over here, so we get 400. We can do the same thing with 8,000 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Add those 3 zeros on the other end. Very similar to what we did. It is the exact same, except this time you're dividing it instead of multiplying it. Okay, so let's look at the problem they gave us. And let's look at what else they have. They had some other examples on page 68 that you can look at. 30 divided by 6 is 5, so 300 divided by 60 is 5. Let me show you that one actually. Hold on to this one in your head and let me look at the other examples with you. Okay, so let's look at this one. 30 divided by 6 equals 5. That's something we can agree on. So then let's do 300 divided by 60. All right, now this one is a little different. So look at this one. I cannot do 3 divided by 6, right? Can't do it. I can do 30 divided by 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5. And because I have this 0 and this 0 on the same side, I can cancel them out. And then I can just do 30 divided by 6. So let's look at another one of those. If I have 3,000 divided by 600. Okay, well, let's do our canceling out first. I'm going to get red, and I'm going to cancel it out. I have 2 zeros on this side, so that cancels out these 2 zeros. So then I'm left with 30 divided by 6 equals 5. Okay, that only works for canceling out if you have all of them on this side of the equal sign, which you will because you're not going to have the other side yet. That's the side you have to figure out. Okay, so let's do the other example they give us. The other one they give us was 180 divided by 2. Now this time I don't have a 2 and a 0. I just have 0 over here, so there's nothing to cancel out. So I do this one just like at the beginning. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Take that 0, put it over here, 90. To check it, you could do 90 times 2 and see if you're correct. Let's do this one because this one's different. 1,800 divided by 20. Okay, so now I can do my canceling trick. 0 on this side can cancel out with this 0. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Have this 1 0 left over I can add to get 90. Okay, so it's just like a little trick. So now let's go back to our original problem because we looked at the other examples, and we're going to do more to show you how they work. And then we can look at this one. So let's look at the steps they give us. Look for a basic division fact. Subtract the number of additional zeros in the divisor from the number of additional zeros in the dividend. That's where we did our cancel out trick. Write this many additional zeros in the quotient. So on this one, I cannot do 6 divided by 5, right? So I have to do 60 divided by 5. Well, let's go ahead and cancel out our zeros. We have on this side, I can do 1 0, 1 0, 1 0, 1 0. It has to balance out on either side. Now I can do 60 divided by 5. So I know that 12 times 5 is 60. So 60 divided by 5 is 12. There's no more zeros for me to add, so I just get those. So 12 will be our answer. I believe it's reams. Yes, 12 reams of paper. So let's do some examples. You're going to do 1 through 8 today, so let's do some more that are on the other side. Let's do 560,000 divided by 70. Okay, so I'm going to do my cancel out trick. Remember, it only works if I have zeros on both sides of the division sign. I have this 0, cross it out with this 0. Now I can divide 56 and 7. I know 7 times 8 is 56. So 56 divided by 7 is 8. I have 1, 2, 3 zeros to add. So I get 8,000. And if I wanted to check that, I could do 8,000 times 70. Okay, let's do easy one. Let's do 60 divided by 3. I can't cancel anything out because there's no zeros on this side with the 3. I can divide 6 and 3 and get 2, add that lonely 0 over to get 20. And if I checked it, 20 times 3 is 60. Okay, this is a trick you need to know. You need to know how to do these quickly, not just because it's going to help you in math class, but it'll help you out all the time. Let's do 4,800 divided by 8. Okay, nothing to cancel out because this 8 is lonely. Let's do 48 divided by 8. So I'm going to think, what times 8 is 48? 6. Put those 2 zeros down here, 600. So that's how we do that one. I'm going to give you one more example, and I'm going to let you try some on your own. These are kind of fun to do once you figure out the pattern. Let's do 2,700 divided by 30. Now this one I can do my fun trick, 0, 0. Then 27 divided by 3, that's 9. And then I add that 0 down here and get 90. Okay, so you're going to do some classwork today. You're going to do page 68, 1 through 8, okay? That's going to be your classwork for today. It's Friday, so no homework. So go ahead and get started. Please double check them. You can multiply to check, so please do that. Use all the resources you have to check them and see if you are correct. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it if you're not going to check them and see if you're right. I will go over them once you turn them in to see if they're right. I'm not going to take a grade on these today because we just learned it. Monday, however, we will have a grade on it, okay? So have a good weekend. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you next week.